Hello, this is the fourth in a series of videos on the subject of clubfoot and clubfoot correction. In the first few videos we discussed definitions and objectives and some of the techniques, the last of which focused on the age of the child and the importance of remembering how important it is to be gentle when you're dealing with very young infant children. In this video, we're going to discuss the essentials of manipulation and holding while casting. These are two very important elements that have a very important impact on the effectiveness of the Ponseti technique. I'd like to start by explaining that the objective of correction is the reduction of what is known as the talonavicular joint. In this bone model, you can see this particular bone, which is the navicular bone. And this navicular adjoins the talus. In the clubfoot, the navicular is displaced. It is medially and plantarly displaced, exposing the head of the talus. The objective in correction is to reduce this exposed joint in the following fashion: to place the navicular at the head of the talus in this fashion. So, in order to do this, it's important to stretch. If you take a deformity like this and simply twist it, it's going to be very stressful to the joints and the foot, of which the joints are a part. On the other hand, if you gradually manipulate, which is a fancy word for stretching, if you manipulate, which means to find the correct position, if you stretch, which means to lengthen the ligaments that connect the bones to each other, then with gradual stretching and holding, you will be able to achieve the desired position. This is important. Manipulation before immobilization enables an effective correction. If there is no manipulation before there is immobilization, in other words, if there is no stretching before there is casting, then the casting is not going to be very effective. On the other hand, if you spend time manipulating and stretching the foot into the desired position, holding it in the corrected position before casting, then the outcome is likely to be superior to the situation where no manipulation and no stretching is done. So there are two elements to this technique. Number one is manipulation, which is finding the correct position. And number two is stretching and holding, which is what you do when you apply cotton and plaster to the foot that you are trying to correct. The question of manipulation is so important that at Cure we have begun to teach the moms, the mothers, how to stretch the feet of their children. It's actually quite simple, and the good news is that even if it's done incorrectly, anatomically that is, if it's done incorrectly, it doesn't matter because there's no immobilization. There's no permanence to the stretching. It's merely